Alright, I got very lucky and I pulled a 7-star version of Silk in my feature crystal opening. And yeah, this champion is just monstrous, man. Her damage output is just so good. And like, she is just so much fun to play as well. So yeah, this champion is just fantastic in my opinion. And yeah, now we have some gameplay here. This is Venom the Duck that has about 200,000 health. So it's pretty much like a Battlegrounds fight. And yeah, she is just made for Battlegrounds, I feel like, because her loop just works perfectly with it. Though as a 7-star, I'm still like kind of learning the champion, so I don't know like what the best rotation is for the 7-star Silk. So I just went for like 2 SP1s and it ended the fight in like 32 seconds, which is pretty dang fast. So yeah, I think that's like the way to go, but I'm not too sure yet. But now we have this Captain Marvel here and she has like triple the health. So let's see how she does in this fight. And honestly, even in these longer fights, she still does pretty well overall, I feel like. So yeah, like her damage output, I feel like it just works in any health pool, which is very nice because I love champions like that. I love champions that can like work in multiple scenarios, not just like one type of health pool, right? And that's pretty sweet, right? So now we have just a lot of health to get through, right? So like, how are we gonna do this? Well, I like to go for the SP2 first and then drop the SP3 because the SP3 is supposed to close out the fight, right? And if you don't close out the fight with it, then they'll be like at 3 bars of power pretty much, and that is, you know, not a fun time. So that was the plan here, to just like drop the SP2 first and then drop the SP3, and the SP3 is so much fun, man, because the loop afterwards is so absurd. Like, you're gonna see when we get to it, like, yeah, it is pretty fun. And then also that's also very fun as well, because the Silk Sense makes her very safe to play. And not only that, I checked her health stats and she is like, I think, top 30 health in the game, which is like pretty surprising because like she is a Spider-Verse character and I feel like they are not like the highest health characters, right? But yeah, she is an exception for sure. And now we have the SP3 loop here, and the SP3 loop is just pretty insane, man. So you go for some combos there, then we drop the heavy attack into a relic hit, and then we go back in, drop the heavy attack again into the SP1, and yeah, the damage output is just pretty monstrous, man. 51,000 bursts and the fight is just over now. And now we have the alternative rotation, and this rotation is a bit more risky, but if it works really well. So watch this. We go in and do double medium hits, right? And then we do a medium light medium combo, and then watch this. We go for the heavy attack right into the striker, but then we go in, we do one hit, go back, and then go back in, and then yeah, we can just do a heavy attack into the SP2, and watch this damage output, man. 61,000 damage there on the last hit. Really absurd damage there. And like, yeah, that's pretty risky, but also if it works insanely well. So now we have this Footloose lane, and Silk Unawakened cannot slow the opponent, which is a bit unfortunate, right? But even without it, you can just try to lock down the opponent to where they can't even throw a special attack. So, you know, she has ways to work around like Unstoppable when unduped, but also I really want to dupe her because yeah, the slow just makes things so much more easier. So yeah, I might go for the 6-star because yeah, like having her Unawakened, it's fine for most like fights, right? Because, you know, not every fight has Unstoppable or Evade, but like in those scenarios, it's really good to have her awakened, right? So yeah, I might have to get and rank up the 6-star version, which, you know what, I think it'll be worth it because having 2 Silks, I think that's pretty good. Like, you have one Damage Dealer Silk, which is a 7-star, and then you have the Utility Silk, which is a 6-star, so I feel like that will make a lot of sense. And yeah, she destroys this fight, though, just really fast. And now we have Miss Marvel on the same lane, and it's the same thing, right? But like I was saying, yeah, it's just like, it's a bit debatable on like which Silk is better because, you know, the 7-star Silk at rank 2 will be like a monstrous damage dealer. Like, even at rank 1 right here, she is still a very powerful damage dealer, but like at rank 2, she'll just be way like stronger, right? But then the 6 rank 5 will be a very good utility champion because she has access to that slow. And that slow, like, not only counters Unstoppable and Evade, but it also counters, like, regeneration in general. So, yeah, there is a lot to think about there, but I feel like Silk still as a 7-star is quite good because she's just a really, like, solid damage dealer. So, yeah, like, I feel like that's fine. But this fight is going pretty well also. And, yeah, the fight is just kind of over now. We can just go in, drop the heavy attack into the relic hit, and, yeah, no chance whatsoever. And now we have this Science lane, and she just takes this pretty fine. Her Silk Sense here comes into clutch in like the later fight, but yeah, this fight's pretty easy. And Silk, I feel like, is a pretty like good science champion when it comes to tropes. Like, she has, you know, the physical damage burst, she has like the vulnerabilities as well. She has access to like not being immune to buffs, but like having the dexterity immunity, which is pretty good as well. So like yeah, she has some pretty solid science stuff. And then when she's awakened, she has the heal reverse, which is very strong. She has the slow as well, which is also very strong. So yeah, like I feel like as a science champion, she just covers most boxes for sure. And like overall, I feel like she's pretty good, right? So we can just go in, keep doing our combos, and then yeah, unblockable hit there, we can just evade it. Like we could have just, you know, manually evaded that or like do it auto, you pick. And then here I dropped the SP3, and the fight is now pretty much over because, yeah, once we have the loop going, the loop just doesn't stop. And the fight is just under control now, and she just cannot do anything right. So now we just drop a combo into the relic, and then the fight is pretty much over now. And like, what? I think a minute? Pretty fast, like pretty good for a science lane. Oh, that was sub 1 minute, actually, which is pretty strong. And now we have this Captain Marvel here, and this Captain Marvel, it shows a pretty good example of the Silk Sense. I feel like this ability will be like pretty underrated as time progresses because yeah, it's like an auto evade and it's really reliable as well because like let's say you use it up, right? You only have to do 20 hits to get it back, which isn't too bad given that her combo is like really extended, right? But yeah, there I got hit. It's fine. We'll manage. So then watch this. She's at 2 bars of power now, right? After we do the combo into the heavy attack. And then now we have to evade this, but we can just use the Silk Sense here. And the Silk Sense actually saves us there from taking some damage output, which is pretty sweet. Then I dropped the SP3 and it is now game over because yeah, once the SP3 is down, the fight is just finished because they cannot do anything and it's just a fun time overall. Now we can go in, drop the heavy attack into the striker, and then do the SP1, and then yeah, the fight is just pretty much over now. So we drop the SP1 here, and some pretty nice damage output, and we don't even get to see the burst damage because yeah, the fight was just over beforehand. Pretty dang good. There I just clicked that for no reason, but now we have this buffet lane, and Silk, there is like one drawback that I have with the champion, and it's the fact that like, you know, she can gain buffs from other champions. Like, you know, Man-Thing, Ebony Maw here. That kind of annoys me because like let's say you're fighting Man-Thing, right? And he like has the pustules on you. He can still poison you, and that kind of like is not fun. And like Ebony Maw can still degenerate you, right? So like that is the one drawback of the character. I wish she had like, you know, full buff immunity, but besides that, she's just a very solid champion and she still counters like pretty much every mystic besides those two, right? And honestly, she still kind of counters Ebony Maw because of the heavy attack. So like she just doesn't counter Man-Thing, and that's whatever. He has his counters like the Overseer, Scorpion. Like there's a lot of counters from him already, so like we don't need another one anyway. But then watch this, we drop the heavy attack into the SP1 and the fight is just over now. Pretty fast, pretty solid, pretty like, you know, safe as well. Just a very clean fight overall. And now we have this Mr. Sinister, and this fight, when she's awakened is much like smoother, I feel like, because she can like block out his healing entirely, and when she's unawakened she can't really do that, right? But still a very clean fight. She's just a very clean champion. I feel like her rotation is so smooth, and like her animations are just so smooth as well. So like this character is just so well designed in my opinion, and I feel like she is definitely one of the stronger champs this year, right? And who else is this month? Oh yeah, Kindred. He seems pretty good as well. So yeah, this month looks pretty successful. Last month was Deathstrike and Danny Moonstar, and they were both pretty good. Deathstrike being the standout in my opinion. But yeah, most champions have been pretty solid recently. Like Adam Warlock, champion of the year material in my opinion. Moondragon, pretty strong as well. Sandman, pretty big underdog story. I feel like he's pretty underrated now. But yeah, the fight here is going pretty well. I got distracted there, my apologies. But yeah, I just love most champions this year. They're all pretty dang fun, and they're pretty solid as well. So we just drop the SP3 now, and then yeah, the fight is now pretty much over. And yeah, the SP3 rotation is just so much fun. It is just so much fun just having so much control over the opponent. So we just go back in, drop a combo into the relic now, and then we just go back in and then drop the SP1, and then the fight is now over in a pretty good amount of time. And yeah, those hits are pretty brutal, man. Like she hits so hard. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on Silk. I feel like Silk is a great champion overall. Her damage output, very solid. Her utility, unawakened, isn't like all there, but when she is awakened, she is a utility powerhouse. And yeah, that's about it for me.